Hi everyone, welcome and thank you for joining me for our Diabetes is Not Our Destiny cooking series. My name is Tiffany Grant. I am a registered dietitian and I work for the Oklahoma Tribal Engagement Partners. Part of my job is I get to do nutrition education through cooking demonstrations, so I'm really excited to have you all here tonight with me. With this series, what we do is we typically start with a video and then we'll follow that up with the cooking of the recipe and then do a physical activity, and then we will end it with samples, which is everyone's favorite part, right? So let's get started. We're going to start by watching a short video where we're talking about the importance of not only just physical but also emotional health and keeping our bodies healthy to help prevent type 2 diabetes.
My name is Jessica Nimoon. I am Ponca and absentee Shawnee. The jingle dress dance is always considered the medicine dance. So that's exactly how I utilize it. For my own physical health, it physically makes me healthy, but also you think about emotionally and mentally, it's give me some good medicine that way too. So diabetes is not our destiny means to me is that even though we have all these different statistics that the Native population, the African American population, Hispanic population have a higher rates of type 2 diabetes. To me, that's just a statistic. That doesn't really mean that, our cousin, our best friend, our auntie, anyone like that we have a close relationship with are gonna get it. It is so dependent on how we choose to live our life. We can definitely prevent getting that diagnosis of type 2 diabetes through focusing on ourselves, to centering ourselves, caring about ourselves. The best gift that we got is our body, and we need to take care of that body. We need to eat healthful foods, and we also need to be active. And that's kind of what I want to tell people, is to really care about yourself, to love yourself, take care of yourself, take care of your gift by your food and your physical activity. Diabetes is not our destiny.
So today we're going to do a recipe called veggies and pork chops. So if you've got the recipe card in front of you, we'll be covering this as well as the handouts. Veggies and pork chops is a really easy dish that you can make when you are busy on those weeknights. It doesn't take a lot of time, but if you want to follow along with me, we'll just get started on the recipe. Because the part that takes the longest is going to be the pork chops. And what we're going to season these with today, we have garlic powder and then black pepper. So the black pepper is optional, you don't have to use it. I'm just using about 1/4 teaspoon mixed in with the 2 teaspoons of garlic powder. So I'm going to go ahead and season one side of these pork chops, and then get them in the pan, and then I'll season the other side. And then I'm going to put these pork chops on in the pan, seasoned side down. That didn't have quite the effect I wanted it to. And then I'm going to season the other side. And these are going to cook for about 5 or 6 minutes on this side, and I'm going to cover them, and then we'll flip them halfway through and let them cook for a few more minutes on the other side. Alright, so while those are cooking, I'll go ahead and go over the rest of our ingredients. So we have the 4 pork chops. We also have, like I mentioned, the garlic powder and the black pepper, which of course is optional. We did use the vegetable oil, and then we have carrots, which this is about 2 medium carrots that I peeled and then chopped up. We also have 1 large squash, and I actually couldn't find large squash at the grocery store, so I bought 2 small yellow squash and just cut those up as well, and then 1 large green bell pepper. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and check on the pork chops because they are looking a little like they're getting done. I'm going to flip them. And we're just going to let them cook on the other side for 3 to 4 minutes. We really want them to reach an internal temperature of about 145 degrees Fahrenheit. So I will use a meat thermometer for that. I'm gonna go ahead and pull these off, and we're gonna set these aside so that we can cook our veggies. We're gonna cook our veggies now. So what we're gonna do, because the carrots are a little bit more tough than the bell peppers and squash, we're gonna cook these first. So I'm gonna add in our carrots. We're gonna let these cook for about 3 minutes. And while those are cooking, we're going to do our physical activity portion. So, did everyone get a resistance band? Today's exercise or stretch that we're going to do, you guys can just take it. We're going to do arm raise. And so, when you're doing this arm raise stretch, you can do it without any equipment. So you could just, especially if you're not moving very often and you're just kind of wanting to stretch, you can do it without any equipment. I'm going to demonstrate how to use the band. If you have canned goods at home and you want a little bit of weight, you can use those as well. But basically, you're just going to stand tall with your feet about shoulder width apart, your hands down by your sides, and you're going to lift your arms to about shoulder height and then lower them. We're going to hold them. So I'm going to do this on, I'm just going to stand on this resistance band. And with one foot, hopefully I don't hurt myself. And then I'm just gonna do one arm at a time. So I'm gonna raise it up, hold for a couple seconds, and then down. I'm gonna do that 5 times. And then I'm gonna switch sides. And like I said, you can use weights if you have weights at home. If you wanna do canned goods, you can do canned goods just to have a little bit of resistance. So you would wanna do this, you know, we did 5 times on each side. You could do 10 on each side and just work up until you can do more. Okay, so the carrots have started to get a little brown. So I'm gonna go ahead and turn the heat down just a little bit. I'm gonna add in our squash and our bell peppers, and these are just gonna cook for just a couple of minutes with the carrots. We don't want them to be too soft. We just want them to be a little tender, crisp, tender. So I'm just going to stir these in, let those cook for a few minutes together, and then it'll be ready to go. I think these are about done. I'm going to go ahead and just add these pork chops back down so that they can get warm again, just in case they've cooled off a little bit. Just going to set them in the pan with the veggies. So, before we serve it, we do have the lemon, and we are going to squeeze. This is just one lemon that I cut up into wedges to try to make sure I could get all the seeds out. And we're just going to squeeze this on top of the veggies and the pork. And the squeezing the lemon really just brightens it up. I'm going to go over the nutrition. So this recipe makes 4 servings, and one serving is 1 pork chop and then 1 1/4 cup of vegetables. With that serving, the entire meal, so the pork chop and veggies, is 250 calories, 7 grams of fat, only 95 milligrams of sodium, only 170 milligrams, only 95 milligrams of cholesterol, only 170 milligrams of sodium, 8 grams of carbohydrates, 2 grams of fiber, and 42 grams of protein. So that is very nutrient dense. Got lots of great nutrients in there. You could also serve this over some rice if you wanted. I think that would be really good. I also really like potatoes with my pork chops, so that might be a vegetable that I could add to that. Of course, they would take a little bit longer to cook, but that would be good on this. Well, I hope this has given you some ideas for how to build on traditional ways of being healthy, and ideas for how to be healthy with our busy lifestyles these days. Please join us next month. We'll be back here November 7th at 5:30, and we are going to be making bean and veggie salad. So please join us next month.